All right. What is going on, ladies and gents? How are we doing? Welcome back to another live stream. The second live stream of the day. Here we go. Welcome to the live stream, ladies and gents. As you are coming in, let me know in the live chat. Is the video okay and is the audio okay? Look at this dump that we are facing on Bitcoin right now as we speak. Take a look at this right here on the Coinbase chart. This has been another quick dump and a fairly large dump as well. So definitely an exciting time, to say the least, in this crypto space right now. If you are excited for this live stream, looking forward to getting into this one, then smash those likes up, ladies and gents. This is our second live stream of the day. We already did a live stream earlier today. And now we are doing the second one, which is absolutely amazing. I am pumped up for this one. I hope you guys are too. We have so much to talk about this one. In this one, we've seen the S&P 500 at the very, very last few minutes of its trading session today start to move down a little bit. And no doubt that is the primary cause for Bitcoin moving down as well. The number one thing that I kept speaking about with you guys on this YouTube channel. So we are starting to see that a little bit here. Now, ladies and gents, as you are coming in, do me a favor and smash those likes up. We were already live earlier today, and we very, very nearly hit the 500 like target. We hit like 480 by the end of the stream. This time, ladies and gents, I want you all to smash that like button. If you're excited for the second stream of the day, every time there's something that you guys want me here for, we're here. And if you think that's sick, just like I think that's sick, then smash them up. You absolute legends. Make sure you are subscribed as we do get into this stream right here. And we are going to be covering a lot of Bitcoin price action here. We have seen something very, very interesting here happen. And we are potentially looking at some interesting trade setups as well. So definitely an interesting day to be looking at these markets. How are we all doing? Welcome to the live stream. We got John here, Tom Coppers. Let's test the next EMA strategy. Not sure what you're talking about there, dude. Let me know what you mean. Tom Brinkman, let's go. You walking, Sammy. I'm doing the dishes, bro. That is amazing. There we go. We got Tom doing a little bit of the chores. What is the dump from Andoni? Talon's World. Hello from London. What's up? To my boys and girls in London. How we all doing? Ladies and gents, as you are coming in, smash those likes up. Like I said, we were live earlier today. We very nearly hit the 500 like target that I like to hit for these streams. Makes me feel like I've achieved something. I've got some interesting notes I want to share with you guys. There are some charts I want to share with you guys. Some interesting positions. Let's see how we're doing. How are we doing in the live chat today? Let me know. How are we feeling right now? I want a vibe check from you guys. Are we feeling worried? Are we feeling excited? I'm feeling excited. But how are you feeling? Let me know in the live chat and be honest. Be honest. We might judge you a little bit, but not too much. Be honest. What's up, Alex? Good to see you again as well, sir. Gunnar, yo, my man. Always stoked to be here on the live stream. Me too. Me too, man. Me too. It's always great. Perpetual Prince, what's up? A drop to 49k would be a good shakeout. Hell yeah, it would, man. Man, what a beautiful drop it would be. Absolutely. Yo, Sammy, you changed your mind about XRP earlier. No, sir. No, sir. I have had this opinion since 2017, 2018. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with my opinion on XRP. How are we doing today? Let's see what the live chat's saying. So, damn, Michael Clark lost $100,000 plus today. Ladies and gents, let's get an F in the live chat for Michael Clark to pay respects. F in the live chat to pay respects for Michael Clark. Lost $100,000. I probably lost some money too today. But it's part of the process, man. It is part of the process. Kai Dragon, I feel pumped. Dump and then pump. I agree with you, sir. I have pinned that comment. Between here and 57k, I want to get a big loan. That's how I feel. Lovely opportunity. There we go. That is the vibe check we're looking for. We're looking for loans in this range. to buy more BTC, I would say it sounds unreasonable, but we're in crypto. So, Adam Black, I keep canceling my buy orders. Strongly bleeding. How else are we feeling in the light? We got a lot of Fs. Paying respects for our boy who's down 100k today. Hello from Iraq. What's up? Shout out to my Middle Eastern viewers. Great, Sammy. I sold most in May. Nice. Sell in May and go away. Always, not always, but generally something that has actually worked out quite well. How else are we feeling in the live chat? With this dump. I'm glad alts are holding up. We're going to be talking about the alts today. People have been noticing the altcoin strength. Yeah, people have been noticing the altcoin strength in this market. And I think that's very, very interesting. I think that there's a lot to say about the altcoin strength. So we're going to be getting into that in a little bit. Dave Park is nervous. He would expect to see a bounce. Me too, man. Me too. I'd expect to see a bounce right around over here. I'm not nervous, though. I am pumped up. This is the only thing these days that makes me feel alive. I have a fucking Ferrari parked downstairs. I have a manual transmission GT3. It's the best car ever made by man. And the only thing that ever makes me feel alive these days is a Bitcoin dump. I don't make the rules. That's just how it is. And I'll tell you why. Yeah, before we really kick this thing off. And if you are pumped up for this live stream, even 1% as much as I am, do me a favor and smash those likes up. I'll tell you why. It's because I have been trading these markets for over 7 years. You guys know that very well by now, those of you that are subscribed. And in all of my time trading these markets, it's almost like Pavlovian effect. I know that when that clicker comes on, like you train a dog, I'm about to get a treat. And the clicker here, the thing that always precedes me making money, it always precedes me making money, is that the market dumps. Because that's how you know you're washing things out, you're shaking things out, and you're getting ready to move up to even better places. It's that and time-based corrections, but time-based corrections are a lot worse. So price-based corrections are a lot more fun. And I'll show you why, right? I mean, if we zoom in, right? I mean, when we get these kind of big, sharp corrections here, you get paid really quickly afterwards. I mean, from this drop up to this high, it takes no less than 16 hours, and Bitcoin's all the way back up to where it started to dump, and all you've had in the interim is a chance to buy BTC literally 15% lower. You know, so there's actually a long list of data, a long list of data, I don't know what you call it, to prove to us that, you know, these kind of dumps are where the money-making opportunities come in. And it's the only thing I'm interested in discussing with you in this live stream today. So I'm super, super pumped up for it. This is the second live stream of the day. Frank is feeling great, waiting to deploy. There we go. I'm sure the fear and greed index will show 64. I don't think so, man. It might even be in the 40s today. We'll see, man. We'll see. Wide awake from Abu Dhabi. Shout out to my UAE crowd. Who here is from the UAE today? We're still in Dubai, obviously. What's up, Sammy? I'm feeling excited, my friend. I am only disappointed I didn't take a short from the 67 retest. Hey, man, it's all good. It's all good. Positions are as plentiful as everything else in life. They keep coming. And they don't stop. So this is all good, man. This is all good. It's amazing how long-term bulls can be so bearish, but for the right reason, have better entry. Didn't quite understand what you meant there, man. Sorry. What else have we got here? We're about to kick this off and really get into the charts in just a second. He's trying to get ripped like Jason Casper. Hell yeah, man. Jason Casper's a sick cunt. That's for sure. And why not, man? Why not get some bonus steps in? We've got a little bit of fat to lose, haven't we? So, I'm talking about me specifically, but I think many of us probably do. And that's all good. That's all good. Life at 200 miles per hour. I have a Ferrari parked downstairs too, but I can't seem to breathe, man. I'm going to be your ventilator today. I'll be your oxygen supply today. Here we go. All right. Sold my clothes for more Bitcoin. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. Delilah, I've been diamond handing my spot positions. Not easy, but doable. I really don't see any other option at this point. Yeah, there might not be great options available at this point. I'm feeling liquidated from Piri. All right, ladies and gents. Did I get to 10k after the live stream, mate? I'm so sorry I didn't. I probably only hit like 8. But it is past midnight, but we're going to hit another 5k on this stream. So I don't know if that counts. But here we go. So let's kick this off. Let's get one more pump up on these likes. We're at 660 viewers, second live stream of the day. Let's kick this thing off. And the first thing that we have to talk about is where Bitcoin has fallen down to, and also just kind of acknowledging how intense this dump has gotten. I mean, from the initiation of this dump to where we are now, I mean, this is like very nearly, you know, the first leg of the dump that we had in the first place, right? I mean, take a look at this. The first leg basically spans this height here. It goes down about this high. So, you know, we've basically, you know, matched the entire first leg of this dump. You know, and this first leg took how long? 15 days. Now we've done it in 2 days. You know, so this is definitely an intense dump here in terms of, you know, like we were expecting relief. We were expecting things to kind of get better, you know, falling wedges, whatever. There's a lot of, you know, different chart patterns that people were probably looking at. But at the same time, you know, realistically, what's actually happened here, if we really look at it, we've just doubled the previous dump that took us 2 weeks, and we did it inside of 2 days this time. So, you know, we're definitely seeing some blood today, and it has now, at our low, taken us down to $58,400. Now, if I go ahead and throw the one-day Ichimoku cloud on this, those of you who are observant to this particular indicator will know that this basically puts us at the bottom of this support range. We do have slightly lower we can swing down to at about 57.9, let's say, but we really don't have a whole lot more tolerance for dropping here. And we do also have this kind of zone as being fake out territory, you know, and that's something which I really want you guys to keep in mind at this stage. Could this be a fake out and Bitcoin kind of recovers back up? Well, I think we've got some very impressive factors to look at, which could actually suggest that this could be a fake out and that this market will hold up. I'm going to share them with you in a little bit later on in this stream. Smash up those likes if you are excited for that. And as we go on, I want to give a huge shout out to those of you that have already taken advantage of the brilliant Blowfin link down here. When you guys sign up to Blowfin, you have an Apple Watch up for grabs, depending on your volume, but that goes all the way to a Kawasaki motorbike and a Tesla Model 3, which is without a doubt one of the best cars I've ever owned. It's so good that I bought 2 of them. So I highly recommend checking this car out if you're curious. And of course, you could sign up to Blowfin, which is a no KYC exchange right now, with some huge bonuses available when you start trading. So you do have to deposit and start trading to get these bonuses. But they are pretty cool. Definitely much more legit than some of the others I've been seeing recently. And that's why you know, I wanted to bring them to your attention here. So let's come back to the market here. You can do that in the background. It literally takes 2 minutes to get ready and start trading on that platform. But this is definitely fake out territory, you know, and we obviously stretched all the way down to the bottom of this green box here. I'm sorry, this blue box here at about $56,000 the previous time that we fell here on the 1st of May. Now, obviously, we're getting very turbulent at our monthly close again, right? I mean, this is definitely a range which Bitcoin is fighting. But I'll tell you what, ladies and gents, on the monthly time frame, this doesn't look too bad to me. I mean, you let me know what you think here on this live chat, but this doesn't look too bad to me on the monthly chart, you know, and especially when we consider things like the Bitcoin dominance. I'm interested in maintaining a healthy perspective on the market, right? And like I've said many times, ultimately, I think the number one thing that is important for now is the S&P 500, and we're going to be talking about that very shortly in this stream. But you know what I think is quite like interesting is that the market has just really consolidated here on a monthly time frame, which is what we already knew. But in this case, it looks a little bit more like perhaps a falling wedge. You know, some sort of channel like that, a descending channel. These are inherently very bullish things. In fact, I think when you look at this chart from this perspective, even if Bitcoin ends up falling down very low, call it 40K, call it 30K, it doesn't matter. When you look at this chart from this, like, fuck the numbers in your head for a second. Take them out of your head. They are not relevant for this. Take them out of your head for a second. You know, if we do take a look at this chart, I mean, it only makes sense that after such an astronomical rise, I mean, the market was moving slowly prior to this point, ladies and gents. Can we take a moment to appreciate what we're actually looking at here? all right? Because everybody else right now, the people who are not on this live stream, God bless their souls, they don't know what we're about to talk about here. And we're about to drop some serious alpha here, all right? Everybody else right now is looking at this market and saying, shit, Bitcoin's below 60K, sell. I've got to make sure that I sell high. I got to make sure that I buy high and sell low. Everyone's got that kind of attitude. And realistically, what we're actually looking at is a very, very aggressive move up here, followed by a couple of months of trading sideways. I mean, that's all this chart says. And the number one thing that is actually super, super useful to do at a time like this, and I cannot stress it enough, you see me practice what I preach all the damn time, is you've got to remove your head from what's actually going on in this space, okay? And think about what this chart is showing you on its own, right? I know that you've got the bearish narratives that you've already read about on CoinDesk, all right? You're looking at Mount Gox. You're looking at, some SEC investigation, or you're looking at, I don't know, like there's some there's some messed up stuff going on at any given point, and you've done your reading because you're an intellectual guy. Good stuff. Okay, put it away now. It doesn't matter. Let's look at the chart. Let's just level down, calm down for a minute, and look at the chart. All right, one of the things I was saying in the most recent live stream, the live stream that we did about 6 hours ago, was that in these markets, if at this time, at these kind of times, if you can keep your cool, you will get paid, okay? And it's such an important thing that I repeated it 3 times, 2 times to really drive the point home that at this stage in the market, at these kind of phases in the market, if you can keep your cool, you are about to get paid, okay? And I believe that very, very strongly. This is a chart where if you just look at it, all right, and you don't think that it's Bitcoin, you don't think that you're over-invested in it and that you bought too high or you didn't buy enough or whatever it is, and you just look at this chart as objectively as you can, there's not much that this chart can do to be bearish. I mean, as it stands right now, it looks absolutely great. I mean, absolutely great. If you asked me to print the best thing that this chart can do in order to just blow up and go up toward 100,000, 150,000, you name it. I mean, get your lotion out and pick a number. It's your choice, mate. If you asked me to print what the chart should look like after this move, I would have printed exactly this. I mean, this is the best damn thing you can get. You move up, you consolidate slowly, you move up again. I mean, it is the textbook pattern that takes place before every move up. And that in and of itself is very, very important to focus on. Does that mean that's what we're going to do now? I don't know, okay? I don't hold those answers. But what I'm interested in doing is making sure that I'm grounding myself with facts, which have worked out very, very well in the market many times previously, okay? That is what is very, very important to me, and that's the first thing that I have to do in order to make sure that I am staying grounded in this market. Absolutely important. John Gammon saying it's a sexy chart. Yes, sir, it is. It absolutely is. I think that I think that it looks very, very good, and I think that it's printing exactly what you would want to see after such a long period of moving up so strongly. I mean, and we've driven this point to home and back many, many times now, but from this low up to the high that Bitcoin punched in, that is a 200% gain. And a plus 200% gain is a 3 times increase. I mean, this price level is $25,000 where we started the rally, and this is 74, right? We tripled in price. Let's get real, ladies and gents. We need to have some sort of consolidation. So, and if you are finding this useful so far to ground yourselves in these markets right now, then do me a favor and smash those likes up. Leshy, LMAO, how bearish is this chat? Yeah, man. I mean, it's absolutely, the case where, and I said this in the last live stream, people become the most bearish when you are at the perfect flip zones where the markets recover back up, and they become the most bullish at the very, very top, and then they trade according to that as well. And all I'm here to do, okay, because I really couldn't care less what you think, all I'm here to do is just remind you of those facts, okay? Like, you don't come to this channel to get my opinions on the market and then copy my opinions, okay? You clearly don't do that because I don't make it easy for you to do that anyway. I'll tell you my opinions, but before I tell you my opinions, I'm going to take you through like 17 different mazes just to make sure that you have enough information on your own to make your own conclusion, because that's the only thing that you'll be able to stand by, and it's the only thing that you'll be able to use to help yourself in your trading, in your investing, and all of that beautiful stuff. Okay, I'm going to lay out all of the facts that I can see, and I'm going to tell them to you as objectively as I can, and we're going to make fun out of XRP holders on the way. Deal? Is that a deal, ladies and gents? Let me know in the live chat. Is that how we're doing this? Because I like that. That's how I like to do this. Bro, am I dancing? No, sir. I'm on a treadmill. We're getting some steps in. What are we at so far? It's kind of low right now. We're only at 1,500 steps, but that's okay. That's 1,500 free steps where I could have been just sitting down, so I'm happy with that. We're at 930 viewers, ladies and gents. Let's smash those likes up if you are enjoying this stream so far, if you like the direction we're taking this in, and double check that you are subscribed as well, just to make sure that you don't miss out on this very time-sensitive content. We've got a couple comments about Ethereum. Look at this. This is Ethereum against Bitcoin, moving up very, very nicely right now on the hourly. And Bitcoin's dominance chart is telling us the same thing. I mean, my goodness, this is quite spectacular. Bitcoin is dumping very hard, down by 6%, yet Bitcoin's dominance is moving down as well. And I think what that means so well, I think what that really shows us is that if this market is able to move into altcoins, okay, while Bitcoin is crashing, and you see this across the board. I mean, I've shown you Ethereum against Bitcoin. Here is Cardano against Bitcoin, which is, I mean, albeit it's a very, very small move, but it's something. We've got Solana against Bitcoin doing incredibly well, actually breaking above a resistance zone. This is a representation of optimism, okay? And we were talking about this earlier on in the last live stream about how the market displays optimism to us by investing in altcoins, and it's a very, very easy to understand bit of logic, because plain and simple, if you are willing to go into risky markets or riskier markets which are more risky, then it's probably because you feel optimistic about what's going to come next. And I think what this means is it's actually I think this is, I really do believe that this is actually a lot of traders with their money betting on the direction that this market actually recovers from here. And because these altcoins have been so massively shot in the recent couple of weeks, I think that this is actually those people really putting their money where they think this market could end up reversing and making a high stakes kind of bet there. And this is actually something very similar to what Donald tweeted as well. We've been discussing this kind of hypothesis for a while on this YouTube channel, especially in the last live stream. So we're going to come back to that in just a second as well. But I do want to stay stuck to the Bitcoin chart just for a minute. We have started to form a bit of a recovery. I had a question from a very, very good friend of mine. Is this a good time to go long? What I think is super interesting is obviously, we've kind of already punched in a possible low. A possible long position right here could look quite interesting because it's super easy to set that stop loss now. Only 1.86% below the current price. And the first target, if I would not take this trade, I just don't really like it, but and I'm very picky, you guys can tell now, but I think the main resistance would be 67, right? I mean, that would be the main resistance level, and that brings a 6.6 risk to reward ratio, which is absolutely fantastic. Once again, ladies and gents, Blowfin, one of the better places for sure to be trading in this crypto market right now. Phenomenal offers running on this platform, not even requiring a picture of yourself or your ID, which is absolutely great. You can get trading on here within 2 minutes from right now, which is absolutely sick, and a Tesla Model 3 up for grabs based off your trading volume. So that is super, super cool. I think that, this would be the main logical target, but I think before that, probably, 63 would be a very, very reasonable target as well, which is still a nice kind of 3.5 risk to reward. And I think, it's quite easy to set that stop loss. Now, the problem with this trade is obviously it's just too easy for us to sweep that low. You don't know if that low is actually punched in yet, and that makes it a lot more difficult, to kind of get into the market at this point. But it's the kind of trade where if the market will eventually recover, even if it does something like this, you might enter here and get fucked, you might enter here and get fucked, but then that final time, you're only losing, in this case, 1.8% per trade. And then, the upside is instead, like 6%, 7%, whatever. So it can definitely work out quite well. So that's something which I think is interesting. Like I said, I don't think it's a good trade necessarily, but I think that some people are going to be quite interested in defending this level. We're already seeing that because we're already seeing some kind of upward price action here, a nice kind of V-shaped correction. More or less, we come back up just as quickly as we go down. So a very, very good sign for this market here in terms of a potential recovery. We're going to keep our eyes on this as we continue to live stream. Like I said, toward the beginning of the stream, the S&P 500 in its final minutes of trading on this Monday session today did end up kind of falling down here, now down to 5,400 roughly, into that kind of 54.47, sorry. And it kind of spent the whole day doing relatively well, right? So I think that's definitely interesting. I mean, originally it managed to produce a nice big move up, but since then it swept all of these lows. It punched in a new lower low right here, and we haven't actually been at this level for a grand total of, are you ready, for 7 days. We haven't been here for 7 days. So clearly not too bad, but clearly also where, pardon me guys, clearly also where the weakness for Bitcoin had come from, because I think the kind of correlation between Bitcoin and the S&P 500 was very, very important for Bitcoin to maintain strength. But obviously, once that correlation is gone, that strength is going to be a little bit harder to find, especially if S&P 500 gets a bit weaker. But like I said, I think the fact that this Bitcoin dominance chart is starting to move down strongly suggests that the crypto space isn't worried about that, which is weird because everyone who talks about it is definitely very worried, but the numbers are clearly showing that we're not too concerned, right? And we can see this right here, like Bitcoin down by, basically minus 6%, Solana, on the other hand, down by 0.3%, Cardano down by 2.6%, Shiba, a meme coin, down by minus 5.5%. So one of the possible arguments for this is that, well, these coins, these altcoins, they're not doing too badly now because they've already been hit so hard, right? Like what we've got to keep in mind is that while Bitcoin was kind of relatively stable, altcoins were getting absolutely destroyed. So it could just be that altcoins already had their punishment and they're not going to get punished more right now. Or I think realistically, it could be that there are a lot of people kind of placing their bets on the market moving up. So that's going to be interesting. Let's actually take a look at what Twitter has to say as well. This is obviously going to be quite important in my opinion. We've got Trader XO showing us a potential deviation here. So Trader XO potentially thinking that the market could deviate back up from here, which is very, very interesting. Yeah, we've got a golden fib here, apparently. Where's the golden fib? I don't see any golden fibs here. Let's see if there are some Fibonacci levels, though, because that would definitely be quite interesting. Like I said, guys, this Twitter thing that you're seeing, they're just a bunch of people that I follow. They're not necessarily great. They're not necessarily horrible. I think generally these people are better traders than most, the ones that I follow. Don Alt is one of the best traders I've ever seen in my life, and here is him tweeting just a month ago, I'm personally convinced it's over for memes. The rest of the market might get out of this okay, but I'm expecting memes to gig a rug. Good luck if your portfolio is in the 10th iteration of a dog or a cat. And people just hated him. And the reason that I want to show this to you right now, call you my wife's boyfriend's laundry because you're washed. The reason that I'm showing you this right now is because these kind of opinions, the ones which are correct, they're very unpopular. Okay, they're very, very unpopular opinions, just as right now being bullish is a very unpopular thing to be. Now, obviously, we've broken below the range, and if you believe that ranges should be respected to a T, then good luck to you. You're not going to survive a single deviation in these crypto markets because, I mean, for goodness sake, look at how often we deviate, around key levels. I mean, it's absolutely unavoidable in this crypto space. You really have to start factoring them into your analysis. Does that mean that this is a deviation? I don't know, but we had one right here, and we had one right here. We print them all the damn time on these charts, so I think that alone should make you cautious at least. Well, it makes me cautious. Doesn't matter what you do, but I think that's very, very important. And obviously right now it's going to be quite difficult to kind of agree with these kind of opinions that the market could actually find a bounce from here. And I think that alone is what makes me definitely quite interested in seeing that. I also want to see what the Fear and Greed Index says, because we do have now just 3 short hours left until we are able to see the update for this Fear and Greed Index. I don't think I'll be live in 3 hours, unfortunately, but you might still be awake depending on where you are in the world, and you might actually be able to take a look at this. Leshy's red-pilled, man. What's going on, man? People having actual panic attacks in this chat. Unreal. Learn to think for yourself, maybe. You know, dude, this live chat right now, I mean, bless you all. I love you all for kind of tuning in with me, but this live chat and the kind of fear that we're seeing today is exactly why I think it's completely bullshit to have crypto discussion groups. You know, I've ran a couple of crypto discussion groups before. I've been part of others. They all end up being toxic wastelands of shit. You know, the best group chats that you actually want to be in are the ones that you can't get into because they're invite only, or it's not even invite only. It's just a bunch of guys that are just, you know, they just get it, you know, and they just talk to each other. But for the most part, what happens when you get in group chats or, you know, you converse with other people, your friends, whatever, fucking nobody knows anything about what they're doing. And you just start, you know, fear is contagious, right? I mean, we all know this. We understand how fear works from a psychological perspective. If, you know, a few people feel fearful, then you're going to feel fearful too, just because it's contagious in and of itself. And that's a very, very dangerous thing in these crypto markets. You know, so I think this is really, really important. And it's why, again, I try and bring a much, much more sober perspective to these markets for you, so that you're able to see these markets for what they are versus what you're overreacting with. And I think it really does make all the difference. Like I said, Fear and Greed Index, we're going to see that update in just a little bit as well. And by the way, I think we made a deal earlier on in this stream about, you know, staying grounded and at the very same time making fun out of XRP holders on the way. So it seems like you guys were pretty happy with that, which is amazing. I think we're all on board with that idea here, so that's super, super cool. We got Sean saying, Sammy back on the steps, good man. Healthy body, healthy mind. Well done, Sammy. Thank you very much, Sean. Loving your energy, man. Absolutely loving that. Yeah, so let's continue on here. Yeah, we've got some yeah. Well, we'll look at some alts in just a bit. But yeah, this pump up is continuing for Bitcoin here. We did kind of stall out for a little bit. Seems like we've continued that just a little bit. So we're going to continue to watch this. I think one of the risks now which bears are going to be hoping for at this stage is that we flip this zone into resistance. I would like to point out to you that even on an hourly time frame, Bitcoin did do that. When we initially fell below this range at the end of April, going into May, we did end up flipping this zone and turning it into resistance. And then the next time we got up here, we flipped it into resistance once more and saw a small drop. Now, in both cases, they weren't big drops. And I think that one of the reasons we didn't see such big rejections is because we didn't really have sustained price action below the support level. So kind of in the market's eyes, we hadn't really even lost the level yet. We just kind of faked out below it. But if we do start to move up now, and especially if it takes time to get there, you know, it's definitely going to be fair, I think, to start expecting some resistance. You know, at least that's what the bears would probably be looking for. So that's something that we will continue to watch out for on this channel as well. And of course, with this super time sensitive content, anytime there's price action like this, I'm always going to be live with you guys, giving you my thoughts, making sure no one's jumping off ledges that they don't need to jump off of, you know, just so that we can stay sober and calm and collected about what this market might be ready to do next. So real fake out territory here. I think that if we manage to slip below 56, then it just gets silly. You can't really keep saying that we're having fake outs. Although another thing that's worth keeping in mind, I've actually discussed this with you all before, but I guess now is a good time to bring it up again, and we will actually look at fibs in just a second, is the other thing I want to point out, and this is actually what the monthly was showing us, is this right here, okay? And it is that Bitcoin could be in a kind of descending channel like this. And again, we see this on the monthly time frame very clearly, right? I mean, this is exactly what I was showing you just a few short minutes ago on this live stream on the monthly time frame. You know, and if we just kind of zoom in and put this on the daily, I mean, it really does fit in. It fits in with our wicks. It fits in with our resistance. And in fact, I guarantee you guys that if we slip down just a little bit lower and we get a bounce off here, this is going to be the new chart that everybody's talking about. You know, and again, I think what I really want to point out is that this is very much, to me at least, it's a very welcome kind of bit of price action. Because what it does is, you know, while you're in it, it's so frustrating, you know, like you don't actually think that it's going to end and you get punished and you have to watch the price setting lower lows, its price setting lower highs. It gets very, very scary. But until you really break any structure, all you're doing is you're forming, I mean, you know, you've all learned a little bit about technical analysis to be watching this YouTube channel. And you're going to know, I mean, we can do this live, right? I mean, let's just take a look live. Bear with. I'm just going to open up Google right here on one of the tabs that we've used before. You know, and I just want to punch in, let's say, stock market chart basics. And if we just take a look at what the basics show us, we've got, yeah, I mean, it's unavoidable, right? Right here, you move up, you slowly trend down over here, and then you get the breakout. I mean, it's the same thing right here. You move up, you slowly trend down over here, and then you carry on higher. I mean, it's the same damn thing that you see all the time, you know, with these... you know, I mean, it's what you learn on page 1, chapter 1 of technical analysis. You know, I mean, it's a very, very typical pattern. You move up, you form these ascending triangles, or you form these kind of pennants right here, these flags. It's just such a common, you know, it's such a common thing that we see in the market. We get taught about it, like I said, on page 1, chapter 1, always. You know, and on a larger time frame, it really looks like this is exactly what Bitcoin is doing. Sometimes you form pennants that are nice kind of, what do you call them? Equal triangles? What are they called? Equilateral triangles? I don't know. I think I'm making words up now. But you get these nice kind of triangles. Or, yeah, sometimes you form, you know, and it's absolutely everywhere, right? Sometimes you form these really, really nice, where is it? It's not on this one. You form these really, really nice wedges, or, you know, just descending channels, right? And it's that classic staircase to heaven pattern, right? We're very, very familiar with it. The market's moving up quite nicely. You trade downwards a little bit. You fight that trend slowly. And then you get the breakout and you continue to move higher, right? And I think, I mean, I don't give a fuck how scared you might be. I think this market is perfectly forming one of these patterns right now. I think it's absolutely perfectly forming one of these patterns. You know, I think it makes so much sense. And I think if you also just look out, I mean, here's the thing, yeah? And I'm going to save this for 500 likes, but we're going to pull up a special chart. Some of you might know which chart I'm talking about. We're going to pull up a very, very special chart. It's something that I don't show often. We're going to do it at 500 likes, okay? Smash up the likes if you want to get there. This is a chart that I don't show very often. The last time that I showed this chart to you guys was probably over a month ago. You know, it's just not something that I talk about particularly often. And if you guys want to see it, let's smash those likes up. Double check that we are subscribed as well. Maybe some of you already know what I'm talking about. Those of you that have been subscribed for a minute now, you're going to know exactly what I'm on about. We are at 370. Let's get this up to 500. And I want to show you guys something very, very interesting from here, you know, which could actually help you maybe flip, you know, not even flip your perspective, but just to look at things objectively again, okay? Because, you know, what we have in this market are a lot of people now that are just too emotionally tied up to see the market objectively. But I think from what I'm seeing here, I mean, it's been a very, very big move up, and it only makes sense. And by the way, there are some kind of common rules for this. Maybe some of you guys know it in the live chat. I don't know it off the top of my head. But there are some common rules for this of how long our kind of bear flags should be, right? And I think typically you don't want your bear flag to be more than like 50% of the length of the move up. So, I mean, this is so completely unscientific, but if I just, actually that kind of worked out. You know, so we don't, yeah, there's no way for me to, to depict this, but yeah, I think we're about like, I don't know, we're at like 33% through, right? In terms of the length of the move up. It's very rough boy math, but it works. It really does work. You know, where we do tend to see really, really nice moves when, you know, half of the length or less than half of the length, you know, of the move up is spent consolidating. You know, I guess, you know, you could look at this in terms of percentage moves or time. But yeah, it's very, very clearly a nice big pattern of consolidation. And I think another thing which is really important to keep in mind is that, like, we've never actually really hung out in this price range, right? I mean, previously when we got up here, really, I mean, you know, just to really make this point, you know, super clear, the $60,000 range is everything in this blue box and above, right? So early 2021, when we first kind of hit this range, we didn't spend much time here. The next time, again, it was just a matter of a few days. And the time after that, I mean, this was the first somewhat substantial period of time we spent above the 60K range. But again, it was only for 30 days. You know, and we never really had kind of big patterns. But if we extend this box out now, I mean, look at how much of our current trading range has taken place where we've never been before. You know, to me, it's just all about making sure I'm grounding myself, and we're going to get to that when we smash up to those 500 likes, because I want to show you something very, very important once we're there. Kind of asking for a bribe right now, I guess, or I'm bribing you guys. I don't know which way around this is. But, you know, we've moved up very, very nicely, you know, into this range now. And it's not a range that we've really hung out in before, right? So to me, it really is a bullish sign that we're kind of consolidating at a previous all-time high. You know, again, I've spoken to you guys about this with regards to 20K. If we put a nice kind of horizontal line here, just to remind you guys, Bybit didn't have their trading back then. But the, you know, the 20K all-time high was probably like somewhere up here, or more like here. And what we did on the way up was we had a really nice stellar run into this range. I was actually long during this range, long from like, I don't know, I can't remember, something like here to here. I made a huge profit. It was like 300% profit. It was absolutely amazing. Traded it on Bybit, which remains the best place to be for trading in crypto. It's been for many, many years, and I think it'll continue to be for a long time to come as well. Check it out, because you get $30,000 in bonuses, which is absolutely sick. It is a KYC exchange, but Blowfin is a brilliant alternative. And as usual, make sure you check your country's local regulations, because you might not be allowed to use any of these based off which countries in the world you are in. But Blowfin, a phenomenal alternative, and like I said, for those of you that are just tuning in here, you have a chance to win a Tesla Model 3 based off your trading volume here, which is sick, because if you're going to trade anyway, why not have a chance to win a Tesla at the same time? So definitely check that out if you are interested in that, which is a super cool offer. But yeah, we did the same thing here. We moved up very, very nicely. We kind of consolidated at the all-time high, and then we blew through it. Okay, so I mean, and it's a chart pattern that, you know, Bitcoin has pulled off in many, many circumstances. We did the same damn thing back here at 30K as well. So, you know, I think that's definitely quite important. And I think this really does fit in with what Bitcoin, you know, could be doing right now, this kind of descending channel. So, you know, and it is, in my opinion, it's definitely kind of one of my favorites that I've seen this market pull off. We're gonna turn this treadmill off now just for a second, because we've just hit 3,000 steps, and I want to take a little bit of a break here. But let's see how we're doing in the live chat. How are we feeling in the live chat, ladies and gents? I just want you to write one of three words. I want you to write bearish, bullish, or neutral. Let me know how we're feeling. I guess you could write I don't know. But let me write. Let me know in the live chat how we are feeling. I want to get a quick kind of sentiment gauge of where we are in the market. We've got bullish, 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 bullish. A lot of bullish, a lot of bearish. Yeah, we got a lot more bullish. We got a lot more bullish right now. Yeah. Wow. Okay, we're quite excited. We're quite excited. Wow. Huge weakness. When people are fearful, be greedy. When people are greedy, be fearful. We got a little bit of neutral here. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good split, but definitely much more toward we got Andy saying 100x everything, mega bull. So I think that's pretty cool, and I think it makes sense. I mean, you know, we're at a support level. Is this a level that I would buy? No, I haven't bought it. But, I mean, I'll be honest, if I had money left on the side to buy BTC here, I mean, without a doubt, I wouldn't even think twice. You know, I probably would have bought $1,000 higher, to be honest. But why was I wobbling left and right? It's because I'm on a walking treadmill. I'm just taking a small break right now. But, But no, I think absolutely. You know, if I had some money on the side right now, I would have to. What are you talking about, man? I would have to buy down here. It's because it doesn't matter to me what sentiment is saying right now. Like, it doesn't matter to me how people feel about this market. Like, feelings don't make you money. All right, I just don't care. Feelings don't make you money. 7+ years I've been doing this shit, guys, and I've always seen. I mean, there are exceptions. There are always exceptions, and you're not smart for pointing them out. There are always exceptions, but you know, 7 years I've been doing this, and when people are very, very bullish at market reversal points, at support levels, when people are very, very bearish, that's exactly when a lot of money can be made. So I think that's really, really important. We've got Shaman saying 76% longs on Binance. That is very interesting, definitely concerning. Let's go ahead and take a look at what Binance is showing us. I want to see what this long-short ratio is on the daily, though. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Bring it on to the daily time frame. What have we got? We are 71% bullish now, so that's not good. That is definitely a problem. You know, I think a lot of the time when we've got retail going very, very bullish in the market, you know, we are in some trouble. Let's see what top traders are doing. Top traders are still majority long as well, although they've been majority long for like over a year now. Basically, when I went long is when top traders went long, probably not because of me, but it did happen at the same time. You know, and 71% here for retail. So that's definitely bad. And it definitely, to me, could imply that there could be some, you know, kind of long squeezes incoming. We've actually already looked at this in the previous live stream, but let's take another look now that we've got some more data. And this is abundantly clear. So I'm just going to kind of decrypt what this means, because I think many of you may not understand this or may not be familiar with this. But up top here, we've got Bitcoin. Below that, we've got open interest on Bitcoin, and below that, we've got CVD. So first of all, let's start with open interest. What does open interest mean? This just means how many positions are opening or closing, okay? So if we're seeing a big dip like this, it means a lot of positions are closing. If we're seeing a recovery like this, it means a lot of positions are opening. Or we're seeing another dip, we're seeing closing again. Now, at the same time, what does CVD mean? Now, CVD, when it's moving down, it means we're getting shorts coming in. When it's moving up, it means we're getting longs coming in. Okay, so that's all you need to know. It's very simple, and I'm not going to make it more complicated than that for you. You don't have to make it more complicated either. You know, this is a very, very straightforward chart to be looking at. And what it's showing you, we're on the 15-minute time frame here. So this is basically, you know, kind of right before the dump started when we were at $64,000, just a short 24 hours ago or so, like 28 hours ago or something like that. You know, that is where you know, we were back here, and what we saw was a lot of positions started to close when this dump started to intensify, especially in the recent hours here. A lot of positions closed, but we saw shorts increasing. Okay, so what that means, there's only one conclusion here, and the conclusion is staring us right in the face. The data is very, very clear. If you can't make sense of this, I'll make sense of it for you. What this means is that long positions have been closing, okay? We've been seeing that the number of positions in the market has gone down, okay? That's very, very clear. And we've been seeing that shorts have been mounting up. So clearly, you know, if positions aren't going up, if there aren't more positions, but there are more shorts, it means that longs are closing, okay? And we know this already because the only way that you can close a long position is by selling it. Okay, and it's the same deal that we're very, very familiar with. All right, if you've got if you've got no position, if you've got no holding, a holding of a grand total of 0, you know, and then the market, and then you buy 1 BTC, so now you're up here. The only way you can close that position and go back down to neutral, back down to a position of 0, the only way you can close your active Bitcoin position is by selling it. You know, and if you sell your Bitcoin, then obviously you're selling into the market, and that's what the CVD is showing us, and it's also showing us that positions are closing. Now, we've got WT in the live chat saying there's not much liquidation going down. So I agree. You know, clearly we're not seeing that much liquidations because we're not seeing the price dip down by that much. I mean, you know, for something like this, we would expect the price to dip even lower, which might just mean that we haven't hit that liquidity zone yet. But I'll tell you what, guys, we had the same thing happen the last time that Bitcoin came here at the very beginning of May, right? I mean, if we, I don't know, the chart doesn't load back that far. Let's look at this on the hourly. May right here. And open interest. I mean, look at this, guys. It's the same damn thing, right? We saw the price drop down very heavily. This is when, I mean, you know, just to remind you guys, this is that horizontal support at 60K. And this is when Bitcoin was messing around here for a few days in early May. I mean, obviously, we all remember this. And we saw open interest drop down heavily at the same time as CVD dropping down. So it's the same thing that we're looking at right now. You know, it was the same thing back then. We saw the price drop down, and what that represented was a lot of long positions closing with a lot of shorts coming in. So just, again, long positions being counted with shorts. So not people being bearish, but just people having to close their positions. Maybe because they were forced to, maybe because they wanted to, usually a mix of both, and usually mainly because they were forced to. So I think that that's very, very interesting. We saw it go from 900 million down to 860. And just out of curiosity over here, we've seen it go from 1.2 bill down to 1.14 billion. So, you know, if we're going to see something similar to last time, then we're not even close to seeing this complete. And there could be some more blood yet to come. So I think that's important. Marcus is asking, what about S&P 500? I do have a request, sir. If you can, just go back and rewind the live stream. We might talk about the S&P 500 again, but we've already talked about it for a good amount of time. And I don't want to keep on repeating stuff. A lot of people have already kind of heard that. But ladies and gents, we are now just 40... God damn it, Sean. Get the treadmill back on. Sammy, no pain, no gain. There we go, dude. There we go. It's back on, man. There we go. It's back on. And now it's back off. I don't know why it switched off. But we are only 40 likes away from hitting that 500 target in the very last live stream. We were so close to getting there. We didn't quite reach 500 likes. If we can do it this time, I've got a very special chart that I want to be showing you guys in this live stream. Shout out to Sean for reminding me to get back on the treadmill and get back on those steps. You absolute legend, sir. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, but I think I think that is looking very, very interesting, just basically showing that we are looking to kind of liquidate some longs right now. We're starting to see a nice recovery continue on here. We kind of traded sideways a little bit, and now we're continuing higher. So we're going to have to see how that $60,000 level gets interacted with. You know, if we are going to kind of find resistance there, that could be a bit of a problem. But I think we're more likely to just kind of slice through that very nicely if we have the firepower mainly. I think, you know, that's if the buyers are there. Right now, the buyers look like they are here, but not in a huge capacity. Oh, there we go. We are starting to move up a little bit now, just basically in the last couple of seconds. Let's look at this on the second chart. Look at that. Yeah, just in the last few seconds, we saw a nice little $200 odd move there, which is pretty cool. Back to the minute time frame. We're just going to watch this a little bit zoomed in just for a minute and see how this goes on. Josh, we are at 500 likes. Let's see the chart. Yeah, let's go do that chart, ladies and gents. So this is, to me, something that's very, very important. A very special chart that I don't look at often myself. And I don't show it to you guys often either. Because, first of all, it's a bit of a secret. I don't really have secrets, but it's a bit of a secret. But second of all, because it's just so powerful that I don't want this to kind of lose effectiveness. But we have smashed through 500 likes right here, which is absolutely amazing. So thank you all very much for the support on this live stream. If you have been enjoying it so far, make sure you smash them up and double check that you are subscribed so you don't miss out on this very time-sensitive content. And all I'm going to do here to show you guys this chart is I'm going to make you guys promise to not try and speculate what chart I'm showing you, because otherwise you are going to miss the point and you won't be able to reap the reward of looking at it this way. And in fact, let me think of another way to do this. Yeah, actually, I got a better idea. We're going to look at it this way. And I'm just going to show you a chart which I want you... Hang on. I'm so confused right now. One sec. Okay, yeah, I was just on the wrong time frame. I'm just going to show you a chart right now, which I want you guys to tell me, what would you do on this chart? What would you... you see another YouTuber stealing my special chart and using it? It's okay, man. It's okay. Like I said, it's not too much of a secret. You know, I don't really have secrets, to be honest. But, yeah, I think this is huge. I think this is really, really good. Worth looking at. And I'm also... not going to allow you guys to even see what chart we're looking at, so that you can't cheat. And here we go. This is the chart. And before I show it to you, I'm only going to show you one thing on this chart. And there's only one thing I want you to do. I want you to tell me, would you buy this chart or would you sell this chart? That's it. Let me know in the live chat. Just buy or sell. Would you buy or sell this chart right here? Okay, we don't know what we're looking at. You know, it is obviously a crypto chart, but it may be right now. It may not be right now. What are we doing with this chart? Are we buying it? Are we selling it? What are we feeling about this chart right here? We've got a little bit of support over here. Let's actually draw that with a box. We got a little bit of support coming in right here. We have some resistance that we've constantly been interacting with. We're now back at resistance. It's been a minute since we've hit this resistance level. What are we doing with this chart? So let's see what we've got in the live chat. And actually, you guys are making a lot of comments here. I'm just going to make a poll as well. I am going to read your comments, but I want to make a poll so I can get a more kind of scientific let me know with this poll along with your comments. I've just put the poll in the live chat. Would you buy or sell this chart? And just reading the comments, we have a lot of sell and a lot of buy. It's a very split chart right here. We have an ascending triangle. Someone's pointing out an ascending triangle. Okay, yeah. So we would have to basically sell here, buy here, and then get the breakout. I see what you're saying. Very, very, very good point. I like that a lot. Let's see. It's very split on this poll. Ladies and gents, everyone that hasn't voted, make sure you vote. I want to know. I want to get as much data as we can. What are we doing with this chart? Are we buying this? Or are we selling this chart? What are we doing with this chart right here? Sean is saying obviously buy. It's a buy. Higher lows, potential for resistance to break. So basically the same ascending triangle argument. I don't know, man. I'm kind of surprised by how split this is. But to me, this is the clearest sell I've ever seen. Depends what time frame we're looking at. Not really, but we're on the daily. Doesn't really matter though. But to me, this is the most obvious sell I think I've ever seen. That's how I feel personally. It doesn't mean I'm right. Can I make this very, very clear? Doesn't mean I'm right and you're wrong if you disagree with me at all. Okay, I'm an idiot, all right? But I see where you guys are coming from. You know, higher lows. There's an ascending triangle. We've hit the resistance level a few times. But for me, what I'm really interested in is how long has it been since we've hit the resistance level? And if there's a good gap, then usually it means that level will get defended. It doesn't mean we'll just smash through it straight away a lot of the time. And I think that, yeah, there's some really good potential to kind of come back. And I mean, look at this support level here. And by the way, can you guys let me know in the live chat which chart we're looking at? It's not Bitcoin. Let me know in the live chat if you can guess which chart we're looking at. But to me, I mean, you know, look at this phenomenal level of support down here, you know, which the market could experience. It lines up beautifully with the ascending triangle line, which one of our viewers pointed out. You know, so I think really, really quite a beautiful chart here, beautiful setup if there was a sell. That's how I feel. Like I said, it doesn't mean you're wrong and I'm right if you disagree with me. But I have a strong opinion here. I do feel like I have a strong opinion here. Yeah, everyone's guessed right. It's Solana. That's right. It's Solana upside down. That is it. So I'm actually going to go ahead and... Oh, you can see it up here. I didn't get to hide it from you guys. That's... I thought I was being smart, but you guys were being smarter than me. That's okay. Let's bring back all of these things here. And what I actually want to do is take a look at the same thing on Bitcoin, because it really helps us kind of, you know, like, I just want to know, like, how many of you guys feel like this is useful? You know, let me know in the live chat. You know, how many of you guys feel like this is useful? I think that this is a very, very useful way to look at the market personally. I think that if I was looking at this, I'd probably draw my support level right here. And I would acknowledge that there, I mean, it's the same damn chart, isn't it? I acknowledge that there's, you know, potentially now 2 fake outs instead of just 1. And I would also acknowledge that basically, here's the thing, yeah? If I was looking to trade this, the number one thing I would do is I would wait for something here to mature, trade here for like a week or so, and I would buy the shit out of this level. I mean, this would be the most obvious buy of my life. I would buy the shit out of this level. I'd sell my bloody house to buy it. That's how strongly I feel about this particular chart. And I will let this market ride higher from there. So that's how I feel about this particular chart here. And I think that is very, very important. As a potential tool to visualize these markets. So that's how I feel about Bitcoin personally. Where are we at for steps? How am I tired already? I'm only at 3.7 steps. What's going on? What's going on? I'm going to wait until Sean shouts at me again. And then I'll get back on. Don't do it too soon, sir. But yeah, I think that's what that's what I'd be looking at. I would wait for this to mature, and then I would buy here, and anything before that, I would basically anticipate that we've broken the range now, and that we've already tested it with a fake out here. I would still have the same opinion that I had on Solana, which is that there's a big gap here, so I would expect some defense. But would I buy here just because of that? No, I think that the risk profile isn't good enough yet. To do that. But I think that if it does mature, and if it does kind of come back here, and if it comes back slowly, if it takes it time, put it this way, if it does something a little bit like this, and then slowly comes back down, that's going to be my sign that actually this is a really nice kind of back test, because it would be the same thing I was talking to you about earlier, where the market moves up, slowly trends down, and then continues, right? Remember that kind of staircase to heaven that we were just talking about? You move up quickly, you move down a little bit slowly, and then you continue up. That's what I'd be looking for here to kind of validate a potential buy in this market. And of course, it is what we were just talking about a little bit earlier on in this live stream with, patterns that look a little bit like this one down here, this nice little flag over here. I mean, there's many, 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 many examples of this all over the place that we can look at. Here's another one looking somewhat similar, falling wedge pattern, right? They're all kind of the same, and I think that is exactly what I would be wanting to see from this particular market if we do end up kind of maturing above this price level. I would be looking to come back down to the support and buy it. And if we bring this back to what real Bitcoin looks like now, I think that very, very clearly tells me that if we kind of trade further down, if we take a bit of time, and then we kind of slowly visit this range, that is the short that I'd be looking at to potentially ride this thing down. And I think that's kind of the safest trade that I see right now. Is it a trade I would take? I think the only reason that I'd consider not taking it is the fact that it's a short, okay? And shorts are a little bit harder to make money on than longs, but that's not really a good enough reason. I think I would take it. I think it's kind of all cylinders firing right there. It's a very, very, very good trade in my books. Really checks the boxes I would personally be looking at. So I think that's pretty cool. I definitely think that that's cool here. We have a viewer asking if we're forming a 6-hour doji. I don't really look at 6-hour time frames here, but even then, I don't know which time zone your chart is set to, but mine is always set to UTC, which is the main time zone for money. And there are still 2 hours left here, and this is more of a shooting star, or a bullish hammer, I should say. So Sean's back. God damn it, Sean's back. Time waits with no one, man. Finish your steps, please, Sammy. You can turn it off after you get to 5,000 steps. Good, man. You're right, man. You are right. We only need another 1,300. You're right. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Akshat wants to smoke shisha. Dude, I'm down to smoke. I don't really smoke shisha that much anymore. Bit of a lie, but not that much. But what is the utility of inverting chart? You just get to see it from a different approach, right? I mean, you and I, we've been looking at these charts all the time. We're really quite invested in what's going on, maybe emotionally or whatever the case may be, and we just kind of lose objectivity. But we can really gain it back using this tool. The reason I don't use it often is because, the more you use it, the less effective this kind of thing is. I think if other people are using it, then, it's whatever. The reason I'm not kind of scared of sharing secrets is because, most people can't use them effectively anyway, and the few that can aren't really going to be a problem. You know, so it is maybe becoming a bit more popular, but I don't think it's much of a problem either way. So yeah, that's all good. Here is another look at what we've seen today. This is the biggest dump that we have seen in 97 days since the 19th of March, which was basically these kind of dumps that we saw here, I think. You know, so quite a big dump here, and we've got the same kind of thing being displayed on this chart, where we could have a little kind of back test forming and then kind of fall down to support at $52,000. The next support zone is going to be down here at about 44, so that's if we do break these levels. That is a look at potentially where we could be going. Here's a look at Bitcoin ETF outflows. We are continuing to see money flow out of Bitcoin with these ETFs. Is this something I'd be concerned about? Hell no. You know, I just cannot bring myself to care. You know, we did just fine without them, and we're going to do just fine with them leaving. And might I remind you, and this is the single most important thing, which I know that most of you haven't even thought about, all right? Those of you that, you know, are super smart, reading up on these ETFs, getting scared of these narratives, right? You know, ETFs are selling. Here's something that you haven't thought of, Mr. Smart Guy. Here's something you haven't thought of. It is that the people who have sold their ETF holdings have now sold their ETF holdings. Okay, and they might, what's important to see is how much more do they have left to sell. But what we need to keep in mind is that if they've already sold now, the worst part has happened. You know, like obviously there could be a lot more ETFs that are about to get sold. So, you know, let's keep that in mind. But would they sell at, you know, low prices? Not necessarily. You know, let's keep, first of all, let's establish that Bitcoin's not going anywhere. All right, we all agree with that. We all agree that Bitcoin's not going to die because it's not falling off a cliff, you know, or anything like that. I certainly don't think we're entering a multi-year bear market, but I might be wrong about that. I've been wrong about it every single time before, so I could be wrong about it again. You know, and I'm sure you've all been wrong about it too. Let's not be shy and scared to admit it. All right, it's not easy to predict market tops for sure, but this ain't how market tops happen. That's something that we know. It's never how a market top has happened. But what I think is very, very clear is that when the selling action has already happened and the price is only down to, by the way, we've recovered so well, right? I mean, take a look at this on the minute time frame here. You know, we're already back up to 60K. So this is where I think we're going to potentially see a lot of people starting to try to take some profits here. Or you know, maybe even loading up on longs here, right? So this is going to be a very, very interesting price level to watch out for. But what we see is that those ETF holdings have already been sold off, and now the only thing they can do again is buy, right? So it does depend on how much more they have left, right? Like it might be that they only sold 10% of their holdings, and then okay, you know, there's still a lot more to be sold. But it might be now that a lot of those, you know, because you might have, let's say, 100K worth of Bitcoin and you just want to bring it down to 60K and you don't want to go much lower than that, but you are open to going back up to 100K, right? I'm sure a lot of you are in that kind of boat right now. Like you bought $10,000 worth of Bitcoin, you realize that's a bit too much, you downsize to 6K, but you don't mind going back up to 10K again, right? You just certainly don't want to go less than 6. A lot of people probably feel that way, you know, and those people are going to have to buy Bitcoin again. So I think that's really, really important. We have Pekka saying there are a lot of liquidations at 55.8. Yeah, man, that would make a lot of sense. That would make a lot of sense that we have a lot of kind of liquidations that we could be getting right here, right below that kind of low that we punched in previously. So perhaps we kind of just sweep this low and then continue up, you know, and that would actually make a lot of sense with this kind of you know, descending channel sort of theory that I was showing you guys a little bit earlier on this live stream. Because if I do cheat a little bit and bring this down here and line these 2 points up, this is still, I would say, basically just as valid, you know, and we are looking at a situation here where, yeah, pretty clean descending channel here. You know, again, inherently an incredibly bullish pattern. You know, it would have space for Bitcoin to sweep that low and set a new low at like 55K, or if it takes enough time, down at say 52K. You know, obviously I don't think it would stretch out that long. sweep that low, punch in a new low, and then continue up, right? Obviously, the thing is you just can't keep doing that forever because it just gets silly, right? I mean, eventually you got to start switching and being bearish. But I think this particular chart definitely has scope for that. And I think the only reason that I feel so strongly about all of this, and that strongly that, a correction is good. And you guys will remember when we first got up here, I was screaming for 40K. I was saying we really need it. We might not get it, but I was saying we really need it. And it seems like the market is doing both now. It's punishing us with price and with time, right? Because there are two different ways that you can get punished in these markets, both with time and with price. And I think that the market might be doing both right now. But I think also just, again, keeping in mind how stellar, how magnificent this rise has been, it makes sense that we have some sort of an extended kind of period of consolidation, of correction from here. Fadi is asking, what about Mount Gox selling pressure? Dude, I don't care. I cannot bring I don't care, man. I'm looking at the charts. That's all. Because the thing is we've had this Mount Gox bullshit going on for years, where we've been threatened by excess supply hitting the market, people that actually want to sell their bitcoins probably being able to get access to them. Now, we've had this narrative for years. Now, could it be different this time and they're actually going to get it in the first week of July? Yes, of course, it could be different. Do I think it matters? Not really. I mean, there may be some selling pressure, right? There may be some excess bitcoins that kind of get sold off here, but I can't make myself feel worried about that. I mean, there are always people that want to sell. And yes, if you get a little bit of a flush of supply in the market, that's definitely a problem. But if it's the same narrative that's been spun up every single time before, I mean, my God, I was making the same point in the last live stream. If you paid attention to shit like this, the last fucking 15 times that this particular news item went viral, you would have sold your Bitcoin down at $6,000 or something ridiculously low, because this news article makes its rounds, I feel like, once every 6 months. I mean, this exact same news articles, they're beginning repayments, there's about to be an excess supply, of Bitcoin, and it happens every damn 6 months, maybe even more. And you would have sold your Bitcoin at each of them. What a damn shame that would have been. I mean, if that happened in the last 6 months, just for argument's sake, right now we're in June, you would have sold your crypto down here at $42,000. Good luck. And good job with that. I mean, it's just absolutely horrific. It didn't work that way. Again, could this be different? Absolutely, but I don't make bets on these kind of things. I cannot make myself care. I think, let's be honest, Mount Gox has probably already sold most of their Bitcoin over the counter with how long it's been. They might have, or maybe they haven't, because I'm pretty sure the U.S. government is involved with this now. So, well, we don't know. The U.S. government doesn't have a great reputation these days, but I don't think they would lie about kind of holding Bitcoin from them. But who knows? Maybe that's it. But what I think is much more likely is that these news headlines are engineered to manipulate en masse. I think it's much more likely to say that they've been doing this for many, many decades now, and they've gotten very, very good at it. And they can engineer any narrative that they want. And I think that's way more likely. I also ultimately, I think it doesn't matter. I think it doesn't matter. If we get some excess sellers, good. Let them sell. So, the more people that have sold, the less Bitcoins there are left to sell. All right? The less Bitcoins there are left to sell, the more we go up. It's very, very simple math here. So, there's no lose. There's no lose here, in my opinion. How easy is it for a corporation to manipulate Bitcoin's movements? I'm not sure about Bitcoin's movements specifically, but mass market retail psychology? Quite easy. Quite easy, man. Quite easy. I mean, just look at influencers. Influencers on YouTube, a bunch of fucking idiots. They can make people, they can manipulate people easily, right? So, and if we're talking about dumb cunts that are fucking 25 with a fucking rented Lambo in Dubai or whatever it is, of course a fucking news corporation can do the same thing, So I think it shouldn't be too hard for that to happen. I'm just saying it like it is. I know that some people might not like it, and I'll be damned if I care. That's just how it is, ladies and gents. Smash those likes up if you have been enjoying this stream so far. We're at 1 hour and 15. Where are we at on the steps? We're at 4.5. I've only got 500 left and I'm off this damn treadmill. I'm done for today. That was a lot. Make sure you are subscribed if you're enjoying this content. I want to go through a couple questions from you guys. If you guys have any kind of macro related chart questions, Bitcoin questions, let me know. I will not be looking at altcoins that you suggest. I'm just going to look at altcoins that I want to look at because most altcoins are the same. So there's no point in looking at them. But I will actually start by looking at Solana because I think Solana is particularly interesting right now, just given where Bitcoin is and where Solana is as well. I think it's been doing very, very well. Shout out to $0G saying appreciate the alpha every day. Thank you very, very much, sir. Thank you very, very much. Thank you, Altoro, for the reminder to stay hydrated. Altcoin pumping. Well, I see Solana making some moves right now, so that's pretty cool. Bitcoin's dominance hanging on, probably about to make another small dip. Yeah, Solana's doing all right. Solana's definitely doing all right. I think I'd be looking for that $140 level. It's the same thing I was saying on the inverted chart. That's what I'd probably be looking at for Solana. Let's take a look at Ondo. Relatively new coin. Definitely has produced a nice chart overall, especially compared to other crypto coins. Let's see where it bounced off of. So, bounced off of this kind of old supply zone, you could call it. Up by a little bit now. There's not a lot I can say about this chart. It's actually battling a bit of resistance right now. So yeah, that's all I see on this chart, really. Not a whole lot more. Rough date prediction for the top? I have no idea, man. There is no way I could answer that. Let's take a look at Pepe. Pepe is obviously one of our favorite meme coins for the whole crypto market. And it's just going sideways. I mean, like I said, a lot of these coins have already had their respective dumps quite intensely, actually. So, yeah, just sideways is still good. You know, I mean, if that's all you get, then that's still a blessing, I think, at a time like right now. So that's definitely great. Let me see what other charts I have to go through with you guys. Here's a look at the S&P 500, up by 2% overall over the last 17 days. Bitcoin over the last 17 days down by 17%. So quite an intense disparity there. Okay. Here is a potential sign that we've entered a bear market from back in 2014. This is our 200-day EMA ribbon from back in 2011 and 2014. Both times when we fell below it, we triggered a major bear market. Let's take a look at this right here on the BLX chart. And let's go ahead and look at the EMA ribbon. So I'm just going to go ahead and look at the 200. Bear with while I remove the rest of these indicators because they're not useful right now. And we look at the 200-day EMA. I think, yeah, we can see that when we lose this EMA ribbon, we enter a bit of trouble. It definitely marks big drops to come. And right now, well, this chart hasn't updated, this particular chart, but we are sitting right at this line. Which chart is better? Let me show you this chart. This chart probably has already updated. Yeah, we're sitting on it right now. So we're sitting on the same 200-day EMA. It looks like 100% of the time when we lost this EMA ribbon, we did have somewhat of a dump to come, yeah. So, I mean, look at this. All throughout the bull market of 16, 17, we were above it. As soon as we dropped below it, it got pretty bad. Again, we got above it back here in 2019, but as soon as we dropped below it, it was kind of what preceded a big crash. Here, when we were above it, everything's good. When we got below it, we had a temporary problem. It's a bit hit or miss. Late 2021 when we fell below it, that marked really a very, very, very bad bear market for Bitcoin. And now we are at the same level again. So that is definitely interesting. That is definitely interesting. Bitcoin dominance 50.5. What about it? What about it at 50.5? Looks like a bit of a support level maybe. I'm more of a range trader, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really go by labels. I trade wherever I think the money is easy. That's where I trade. That's basically my philosophy of it. So I think if you're bearish, you're probably going to be expecting that Bitcoin kind of falls below that critical 200-day EMA. But if you're bullish, then this is actually the best thing that you can get, because we do actually produce some really important bounces off this level sometimes. And it looks like you can fake out below this a few times as well. So I wouldn't be too worried. And it's very clear that this line has actually served Bitcoin as support many times before. So that's also great. There's also the 200-day moving average, which I think is potentially worth looking at, which is this orange line here. Let's take a look at this on the logarithmic, because this has also been a very, very useful line for basically, I mean, they're kind of the same thing, the 200-day moving average and the 200-day EMA. They pretty much tell us the same thing, and right now they're pretty much lining up at the same level. In fact, they're lining up so well that it makes me think that this is a moving an EMA. No, this is a normal moving average. So I think that's definitely interesting here. Yeah, very, very important support zones. We really want to see this particular support zone hold. All right, I'm done. 1,500 steps. Shout out to Sean for being the positive influence in my life today. Thank you very much, sir. Making sure I hit those steps. It's too hot in Dubai to go outside for long now, which is quite annoying. So some of these steps have to come in while at the office. But yeah, quite an important 200-day moving average. You can see a really nice big bounce coming off here. You know, this is one of the scarier bounces. I don't know if you guys remember. Let me know how many of you were here in the live chat. This was March of 2023. How many of you guys were here back when this happened? This was, of course, where I entered my long position. It was like somewhere right here. I'm still in that long position, been paid very, very handsomely for it. And it was right at the 200-day moving average. It's a good level to be bullish at, in my experience, or be bearish at, you know, because you can get some rejections off this level too. But it really supported the 2017 bull market, 2016 bull market, my bad, quite well. You know, big resistance here throughout 2014, sorry. And some nice bounces coming off, you know, this level in 2013 as well. So it's a good level, man. I mean, it's a very good level, I think. And it really kind of points to Bitcoin, you know, leveling off here, touching the support, and then off we go. I mean, it's almost like the simulation is printing it for us. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's definitely quite cool, I think. But ladies and gents, it is now 2 a.m. And I think I need to get going now, because we have been live for nearly an hour and a half. If you have any more questions that are not altcoin suggestions, please let me know in the live chat and I will go through them. Well done, Sam. You should have a great sleep tonight. Absolutely, I will, man. Thank you very much. Have I tried jump roping? You can burn 400 calories in 20 minutes. I have, but it's just too intense. I hate it. I need to do something that I'm okay with, you know? Like, I've got a rowing machine here. I'm okay with cardio. I actually do it sometimes. But, you know, weights I'm pretty consistent with, obviously. But I'm working against myself, you know? I'm at a bit of a calorie deficit while I'm doing all these things. So, you know, like the weightlifting, it's working. I'm seeing results. It's just not as quick as I think it should be at my age. Or as quick as it could be, more accurately. Yeah, we got a few questions here. Should I have to buy Bitcoin now? I'm not going to answer that. So 60K now resistance? Well, I don't necessarily think so. I think that, you know, 60K would be treated as resistance if we have matured price action below the current price level, but I don't think we've actually gotten that yet. So it's still definitely got that potential for being a fake out. And right now it looks like it could be, right? I mean, you know, again, if we just look at that exact same box again, you know, probably looks something a little bit like this. We're back in it now. So, you know, from this particular perspective, that was just a nice little buy wick, and then that's it. You know, we're carrying on. Is the 200-day moving average my main line for longs or shorts? No, not at all. I don't really have a main thing, I guess. We're about to get back above. Oh, we've gotten above 60K now, so that's great. Look at this on the minute time frame. We've just climbed up above 60K, moving with a good amount of strength. So this is absolutely fantastic. Good stream and good cardio. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I had to end that poll because a lot of you guys were still voting. But you were probably voting for the main Bitcoin chart, not the inverted chart. So that's not super useful because the poll is completely different now. But when I did run the poll properly, it was about, I'd say 55-60% of you guys that were bearish on Bitcoin, like the real Bitcoin, and 40% that were bullish on the real Bitcoin. Me personally, I'm still bullish. I can't not be bullish. Until we lose support, I'm still bullish. That's just how I am. That's how I've been trained to trade, and that's how I view these markets, and it served me very, very well. So I'm happy with that. I'm definitely happy with that. What move would screw the most people? Yeah, I mean, it would be dropping below this low here, getting somewhere here, and then continuing back up. That would be it. I mean, think of how many longs would get stopped out down here. It's the most obvious level for the market to go down to, and it means that we get to fulfill this kind of falling, descending channel pattern, which makes so much sense for the market on a macro scale. It would put us down at about $55,000 and then back up. I'm not saying I think that's going to happen, but you asked me what would screw the most people. Right? Something a bit like that. It's totally plausible, right? Totally plausible. Support for you is right now what? Right here. Right here where we are. All the way down to about 56 for a fake out. But for me, in my opinion, the support ends at like 59,500. Yeah, but I have a bit of tolerance for the price to drop down anyway, just in case, you know, we get a fake out. So that's why I'm not too worried. Can you try to explain what happens to the price once there are a lot of liquidations? I mean, we already did it earlier on in the stream, so you really should just rewind the stream. There's a lot of amazing value we've kind of gone through here, and I don't want to keep on repeating it. In short, basically, you know, in order to close an active position, you have to sell that position, and selling it means that you're going to drive the price down, because selling anything will drive the price down. That's basically it. I do want to highlight to those of you that haven't yet taken advantage of this, or that have, but you haven't actually made your deposit and started trading. Blowfin is offering huge bonuses right here. Basically, just for the next 10 days, you have a chance to win a Tesla Model 3 based off your trading volume. So you'd have to start trading, you know, at some point in the next 10 days only to get this. You know, this campaign will end, and you have some very, very cool prizes up for grabs here, including, yeah, like I said, a motorbike and a Tesla, which is super, super cool. So if you want a chance at winning some of these beautiful vehicles, or if you just want the Apple Watch, which is sick, then definitely make sure you sign up and get trading on Blowfin here. It is a no KYC platform, which is absolutely phenomenal. There are not very many left, and certainly there are very, very few that I think are actually worth trusting at this stage. So it's always nice to get one well, I think that is kind of competent in the space. Obviously, be aware of your country's local regulations, because you might not be allowed to use any of these if your country says that it's illegal. But there you go. Super, super cool stuff. Hope I've been able to kind of help some of you guys out, kind of calm down. How much do I get paid for that? Absolutely nothing. They don't pay me anything for promoting this. And then there are commissions that I could make based off that, which is the same thing that, you know, pretty much all YouTubers do. You don't lose anything. You don't pay extra fees or anything like that. It just helps the channel out. There's a lot of value we bring to you guys. And believe it or not, even though it's just me that you see, there is a team behind me. And they need to be paid for. So, yeah, we definitely run one of the most ethical, kind of like cleanest operations in the crypto space by far. My goodness, if you knew what was going on in this crypto space, you'd be a crypto YouTuber too. And you just scam the shit out of people because that's what makes a lot of money these days. Yeah, it is eye-watering what influencers can make, but we keep it pretty low-key here. We're pretty normal, pretty chill. Delilah, hello Sammy, you've become our therapist during this time. I think everyone here is doing well. Appreciate your analysis. Amazing. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Have a great rest of your day. Bro, can you tell me about Saga? I don't know anything about Saga. Sammy is the guy. Thank you. Thank you very much. Decent live stream. Thanks, Sammy. You're very welcome. Do I think 50k is possible? Definitely. Definitely think 50k is possible. I mean, if we collapse below these support levels, 52k is our next strong support. Below that, it's 48. And below that, it's 44. Those are the next kind of key levels that I personally see on this chart. Ladies and gents, thanks for smashing us up above 600 likes. If you have enjoyed this stream and you haven't already, smash them up. And if you're not already subscribed, make sure you stay subscribed to this YouTube channel so that you don't miss out on this very time-sensitive content. Off to bed, midnight in Belgium. See you later. Thank you very much for tuning in. See you on the next one. All right, ladies and gents, I'm going to be heading off. Congrats, Sammy, like your shows. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm going to be heading off. If you have enjoyed this one, you know exactly what to do. Love to you, bro. I've watched you a lot, but never interacted before. Glad I did, and thank you. Well, I'm very glad you interacted as well, Lloyd. Thank you. I know that there are a lot of you who, maybe even most of you, who don't interact. And the good news is that even if you don't want to, or you can't be bothered, just being around is amazing. It does make a big, big difference. Thank you for subscribing, Mubi. Is 61,000 possible tomorrow? Yeah, why not? It looks very possible. It looks very, very possible. Look, we're just going to keep, we're going to keep an eye on this and see how it goes. You guys have heard it to death now for the reasons why I cannot be scared of this market personally. If we do get a bounce, it should come in very quickly. If it doesn't come in quickly, we might have a problem. Basically, the longer we stay down here, the worse it's going to get for Bitcoin, the more I would expect it to drop. And you'll know about that. I'll come back to you guys with a video and whatever. I'll obviously be on the completely free Telegram channel, which you can join by following this link right here in the description. You get more updates from myself and my team around the clock. And I'll tell you guys what I'm thinking. But, I think that, it's just another hit of support. And until we break support, I'm not going to act like we've already broken it. I don't do that with resistance, and I'm not going to do it with support. That's it. Do I think 50k is more likely at this point? No. Not until we lose support. When we lose support, I'm going to be saying 44,000, because I don't think 50k is going to hold us. I think it's going to be 44, 48. If we lose support, that's what I expect. But we haven't lost support yet. We'd all make a hell of a lot more money if we focus on support levels as being support. We will be wrong that one time, but we'll make money every single other time. It'll be okay. That's just how it is. You don't believe me? Go back and look at the charts. The charts respond to support and resistance very, very well. Thank you, Sammy. I've been watching you for years now. You've been part of my crypto journey. That is amazing, Alessandro. Thank you. Thank you very much. I think I may have seen some of your comments before as well. I do appreciate the support. Is support at 55? I mean, I don't think so, other than that kind of descending channel that I showed you guys, which is right here. This is kind of the best argument that I see for 55. This would put Bitcoin right at basically 55 flat. And then we kind of move up and it'd just be, you know, I mean, I wouldn't expect that we find resistance again. I would expect that we kind of break it and just kind of rally up from there. That's what I would be seeing personally. Okay, I'm going to be calling it there. Thank you all for tuning in. And I will see you all in the next one. One more time, just so that you guys don't do anything stupid. You have to be aware of your country's regulations when you do sign up to these exchanges. They're phenomenal offers, but unfortunately they're not available to everybody in the world. But if it's open to you and you're curious, then definitely check it out, because you got some beautiful offers. And while you're down there, smash those likes up one last time on your way out, and make sure that you are subscribed. All right. Thank you all for tuning in. If you are tuning in late, please rewind the stream. There's a lot of amazing stuff here that you don't want to miss. And I will see you all in the next show. Take it easy. Cheers.